Adrian. Your wax is so soft. Your yak hair is silky. Your eyes are so green. Oh, shall I be a statue too?
Miraculous ladybug. Well, miraculous tales of ladybug and cat noir. If you grew up like me, a weird kid, you love this show. You definitely love this show. You loved it so much, it took over your whole life. It did. Absolutely love the show. I had my own miraculouses I made. Hard to explain. I just did everything that you could do. And I got bored like a few years back, and I went back to go see if it was as good as I remember. And, something. Like I said, this show ruined me, just in general. I mean, not the new thing. The new animation's much better. But what I grew up with is terrifying. It was terrifying. Like the origin story. I'm sorry, that's a little rant. The origin story is like 20 episodes in. Make it the first episode. But to be honest, I love this show. The story and the magic jewelry. So that's my young mind. I was a really dumb child. I don't know. As a fan of the show, I'm gonna say it. Marinette is a Mary Sue. I mean, Cat Noir, I know he's like the holder of destruction, but she fixes everything. She holds all the miraculouses, and you know, she literally has one of the strongest miraculouses, the most old miraculous. Cat Noir gets nothing. Cat Noir gets nothing. But like I said, Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir has always been a large part of my childhood. And recently, and these are old videos, but I recently started seeing them, they take their childhood shows, insert here, and they turn them into teenage shows. Like, I saw one with PJ Masks, and I thought, I should do that, but with my childhood show. That's what we're gonna do today, turn this show into a teenage show. Let's go! I know what you're saying before we start. This is already a show for teens. It's aimed towards tweens and teens. It does not do its job well, you're correct, but it does not do it. If I saw someone like 17 watch that, one, I'd join them, and two, I'd be a little confused because I thought that show was for little babies, because it's scary. It's very scary. Into it. So let's start out. Marinette. One, why does she look like that? The jeggings, I get she was made in like 2015, but no, it's a whole no for me. And the ladybug design, I'm sorry. What are we doing? She was wearing spandex. Cat Noir actually gets clothes. That's the only thing he gets. Marinette is supposed to be a fashion designer, so she would have like self-made clothes, and that's what I started. And I feel like she'd have a knitted cover-up. She'd sew that logo she made on that one hat all over her stuff, and I feel like she would customize the earrings she got from the Miraculous into like that charms and stuff because it didn't match her forte. I feel like she would try to DIY everything and make it into the Marinette brand. And I'm sorry, I'm starting now. We're getting rid of the 60s poodle colors. It gives me very crafty Agari vibes. So we're gonna, and like it kind of matches a shyer, more quiet personality. And one more thing. No blue hair. She is the only girl in town with blue hair and pigtails. But like, how does nobody recognize her? I kept the blue tint in her hair, but we're not gonna keep the whole blue. Yes, and so here's my civilian design of Ladybug. Let's get to the actual design of Ladybug. Oh my god. Ladybug could have so much more. She could be like, she could serve. She could do anything. Have you seen any of the other Ladybugs? It is, oh my god, it's so good. But they just put her in spandex. And as someone who yo-yos for a hobby, I'm gonna insert a picture of her yo-yo right here. What is going on? Like, dude, the string's not going to the center. That thing's gonna bump on the side. That yo-yo would not work. And I know it's supposed to open like a compact mirror, but dude, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So insert me yo-yoing clip right here. Yo-yo would just be wider and more easy to use and like swing around. And I would give her like a glide, like kind of mini cape. Cause you know, ladybugs could fly and she could like glide around, get around the city faster, you know, and yeah. I have so much, like I would add like maybe a cape over the, I don't know, I'm supposed to be doing character reference sheets right now, but I decided I would make a whole video about my hyperfixation, yay! Because she would find a way to sew designs and like add stuff to her, you know, super suit, and that's all I really have. So let's get to my boy Cat Noir. Noir was my favorite growing up, and because, you know, one, he didn't look like a strawberry with a yo-yo, and two, he was just cool. And Adrian, who is his civilian counterpart, is also really something. I don't even know. He literally is such a weirdly written character. Like, I know he's supposed to be controlled, but like, I feel like he'd be much more quiet in public, and I'm not gonna turn him into a Felix, like, emo. He literally is like controlled by his dad, and I feel like he should be acting like that. Like he would like dress a certain way in front of his dad, but as he get to school, he'd like change. He'd change into like, I feel like he'd be really into comic books, so I feel like he'd change into the one Young Sheldon t-shirt. Insert here right now, please know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I feel like he would change. He'd get his friends to like give him clothes that they didn't want, just so he could be free at school. He would yap a lot when he was with his like really close friends, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to do it to him. Marionette is not a freaking gooner over him in this one. I'm sorry. I feel like they're on opposite sides of the spectrum. Adrian is just normal with her, but she doesn't really like him because, you know, he just gets all the fancy clothes and Marionette has to work her way to get the clothes. But they're like, she's kind of getting a crush on him, I don't know. Now, Cat Noir. It's okay. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about the design, but I don't have anything great. So, for the design, I would give him emo e-boy spikes and like, you know, the stuff they have on their headphones, like the clear acrylic? Yeah, it's going on there. I feel like he'd really want to be like emo or slash scene or any type of that genre, but his dad would be like, no, you have to be perfectly part of the brand. I feel like he also should have some more powers because Ladybug has normal powers. Like, I'm not gonna edit those, but shh, oh my god, he needs more. Like, having like stuff that turns like into crumbling rust and just destruction. I know he's the cataclysm thing is like the holder of destruction, but dude, gotta get more, dude. I feel like he could help maybe repair the city with Marionette. I've heard other people say this, but yeah, I agree with them. He should have more. And I feel like he could like summon earthquakes or like natural disasters or give bad luck, something. Got him out of the way. Let's go to Adrian's dad, Gabriel. Let's talk about that now. First of all, when it comes to Gabriel, why does he look like that? And why does he look like that? Get out! I feel like he'd be very much monochromatic and like make everything symmetrical, perfect, without moving. He wanted everything to be beige or gray, like a certain group of people I know. Yeah. I feel like he'd also force his son into that, into a big, like, you have to wear this, this, and this, and act like you have to wear a uniform every day. But he really doesn't. I feel like before his wife died, he was just a normal fashion designer, right? He had Adrian, he had his wife, and then wife go, bye-bye! And the wife really liked colors. I'm sorry, that was really insensitive. But the wife really liked colors, and he doesn't want to remember that. So he pushed his work really hard, kind of left Adrian, used him for money, like a lot of certain people I know. And, you know, just became emo. That's not really that special, just an old guy with a suit. I know, I didn't have anything. But a Hawkmoth gets a whole redesign. A Hawkmoth, I feel like, since he'd be mourning, and it'll make sense when I tell the story, my redesign of the story, but he would have like a drape because he's embarrassed about what he's doing being Hawkmoth and like not doing good even though his wife. So I feel like he'd have like a big mourning robe, like covering his face, you know, like hiding his identity, like just hiding everything about him that could show he he was a person underneath. I'm not getting rid of the purple though. Okay, time for the story. The story is, it's kind of confusing. Like, water forms? What? You don't need to do that. We're not evolving her like a Pokemon. In my universe, instead of the Hawkmoth by himself looking for the, like, miraculouses, it's the whole, like, secret government agency. And they know these have immense power, and they're lying to Adrian's dad, saying if he gets these 2 super strong miraculouses, he would get his wife back, and they bring her back to life. So, and in this thing, they've caught the moth and the peacock, like usual, and they give him the butterfly moth, I don't know, and basically, you know, tell him, do this, and we'll give you your wife back. Track the owner of the miraculous, which I did not do a redesign, but he's less old, but he fights as the turtle miraculous owner. And he has all the miraculouses, and he's going, oh no, if they find me, they're going to take the miraculouses, and they're going to do whatever they want, which is not bring back Adrian's dad. So, Marinette's class is on a field trip. They're, like, Adrian's with his friends, they're with his friends, and they're on a busy, like, street, like, what's it called? Like, food, like, shop street, I don't know what it's called. And they come across, both of them at separate times, come across this vendor selling jewelry, and all their friends like, oh, you look so cute in that, or that'd be so swaggy. And Adrian buys the cat miraculous, which she doesn't actually buy, she gives him to her free, and same with Ladybug. Sorry, I changed it so when Marinette finds Tiki, and I'm not changing the Kwamis, they're just too cute in my opinion, she doesn't get immediately terrified, she gets more interested. And she wants to learn more about it, and so she tracks it all back to the, shopkeeper. How do I keep forgetting words? Adrian's house. He finds Plag, which again, I'm not changing. They're too cute. I really like Plag. He finds Plag, and he's like, oh my god, this is my chance to have freedom. This is gonna be so cool. And in a fit of, like, excitement, he, like, leaves his house and, like, you know, sneaks out. But, like, halfway through, when they're having fun, he's like, oh my god, he has, like, you know the freak out kids have when they get yelled at? He has that. And he's like, oh my god, my dad. They're both on their separate adventures. They see the first person to get akumatized. I don't know any other names for it. And Tiki and Plag are both like, oh, you need to do this so we can, like, you know, save the world. So they do that, and they don't know who they are, but in this universe, they don't know they have a limited time to de-transform, and when, like, they kind of follow each other out to talk more, and they find out they're each other, and Marinette's like, you, and he's like, me. And so they're both shocked and confused, so they go to the shopkeeper, and they're like, oh, what? Why'd you sell us to these? We probably shouldn't have these. We're just teenagers. Adding me here. Did you know Marinette's 13? 14? She's like, I thought she was like 16. She's supposed to be like 13, dude. Changed them to know that they were both superheroes because I want them to have like a magical girl relationship like Sailor Moon and Sailor Mercury where they're slowly becoming friends. And back to our plot, shopkeeper is like, you two need to save the world because the government's coming after you to use those to call upon an ancient god who made all the Kwamis. Yeah, that's right, that's a god. And you guys need to stop them so they don't get all the miraculouses. And I'm gonna keep posing here as a shopkeeper. They have 2 missions. Okay? They have find the guy who is making all these villains and stop him. And then, you know what? Take his miraculous, because they don't know he has 2. And stop the government! That's all I really have. If you'd like to see more, comment your favorite kids show. Like and subscribe. I worked really hard on this. I'm out of breath. Yeah. Bye-bye. Watch any of these videos.